Alright, hello everyone. Today is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2018. I sort of lied to everybody that we were not going to have content on this channel. Uh, I'm still pre-recording this in Maryland, but it'll be up on the 22nd. Many of you know I'm heading back to New York later today from Dover, Delaware, so obviously I'm here in Maryland pre-recording this, but I will be heading to my regular studio back in New York City later today for more content coming to you later this week, and especially how there might be something on the gaming channel you guys might enjoy. I'm not going to ruin it now, but anyhow, today's video, before we get completely off topic, I'm doing an electoral prediction video for the presidency of the United States. Today we have New York Governor Andrew Cuomo taking on Maryland Governor Larry Hogan. Andrew Cuomo, one of the least popular governors in the entire country compared to the most popular governor in all of the United States in the state of Maryland, which is, of course, Larry Hogan. So we're going to assume that vice presidents, whatever, Cuomo's lieutenant governor, Kathy Heigl, and Larry Hogan's lieutenant governor, I forget her name right now, but her last name is Rutherford, so we'll just assume that. So that's who the tickets are going to be on both parties. So let's go to the safe blue states. We're going to, of course, give Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Now, here's why I'm going to give Larry Hogan both Delaware and Maryland. Because keeping in mind, most of Delmarva, when you look at the whole Sussex County, Delaware, Kent County, is conservative. And since most people in Delaware actually are a little bit envious of Maryland's governor in a way, and considering that, again, you have to consider that Andrew Cuomo's home state is New York and Larry Hogan's is Maryland, even though in the state of Maryland, Democrats are favored 2-1. You have to consider the approval rating. So that's why I'm going to give Larry Hogan the state of Maryland. Now, obviously, for the red, so pretty much Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio. Yeah, right, we got to leave that as a toss-up, right. So I'm trying to think, like the toss-up states, we got to be careful with those. So I'm going to get into my logic for that later on. So obviously, of course, these are the safe red. Indiana's a safe red. No matter what, I think Indiana will definitely be a safe red. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. So pretty much when you think about this map as a whole, if Larry Hogan, in a hypothetical situation taking on Governor Andrew Cuomo, pretty much he needs one more state to wrap up this victory. So of course we're going to go to the safe blue states. Let's make sure we give Governor Hogan Alaska, but we need to give Governor Cuomo Washington State. And there we go. We're just going to give him Illinois, and that should wrap it up. Now, my reasoning for Florida. Why did I already give Larry Hogan Florida, even though the demographics in Florida as a whole are changing with the changing demographic of Generation Z and millennials voting after the Parkland shooting? Well, I'm going to be honest with everybody. There's still a little bit of a conservative base left in the state of Florida. That's why Donald Trump won Florida in 2016 before the Parkland shooting. So if you want to look at the numbers yourself, apparently people in Florida like moderate Republicans. The current governor, Rick Scott, who's running for Senate in Florida right now, he's a moderate Republican. You look at a person like Larry Hogan, who sides away with Trump on many issues. That's why you want to. That's why if you were making a map like me, you would want to give Florida to, of course, Larry Hogan. Now, for my reasoning, why I gave the governor Cuomo Pennsylvania, there's a reasoning for that, because there's still a outmargin the Democrats in the state of Pennsylvania. Even though I forgot to give Governor Cuomo D.C. for a quick second there, so we got to update the total there. But for Pennsylvania, the large majority of the cities would just vote for the Governor Cuomo. You look at Pittsburgh, you look at Philadelphia, and honestly, even though most of Pennsylvania is Republican, it just doesn't favor Governor Hogan in a sense that they are sick and tired of dealing with the GOP, and they would rather just keep a Democrat in office. So which state, at the end of the day, would give Larry Hogan the electoral victory? Well, it's not going to be Colorado because, remember, Colorado has a heavy Latino presence. So you have to give Governor Cuomo 9 electoral votes. Same with Nevada. There is a growing Latino population in Nevada. Hawaii, got to give Cuomo Hawaii. So right now the number is 217 to 267. This is the accurate count we have right now for our election map. So which state would give the victory to Larry Hogan? I'm going to be honest right now, it would be Ohio. So, thus making Larry Hogan the 46th president of the United States. So, 285 to 217. Andrew Cuomo puts up a very decent battle, but at the end of the day, he can't just walk in and expect the Republican base to change. The Republican base is changing. This is how they find their image with Larry Hogan, a very open-minded Republican on many issues here in Maryland. So, just for the heck of it, I'm going to give Andrew Cuomo Minnesota. There are still the outnumber of Democrats in the state of Minnesota, considering that Minnesota honestly hasn't gone red in a very long time. I don't even remember the last time they've done that in the presidential election. Donald Trump came close in 2016, but Hillary Clinton still won Minnesota in 2016, if many of you remember that. Now, there's a reason why I'm going to give Larry Hogan Wisconsin, and I'm going to give him Michigan, because Larry Hogan can definitely get the bases in those states to support him. If you want to look at it as a whole, those are blue-collar workers that in Detroit and outside of Detroit were honestly sick and tired of hearing the same propaganda with Trump. The thing with Larry Hogan is he's not really pro-establishment in a sense, because remember, Larry Hogan was a nobody in Maryland that nobody knew, knew how to campaign, knew how to get people to vote for him, and he was a good speaker. Well, he still is a good speaker here in Maryland, yes, but he presented new ideas that the Democrats just didn't explain themselves here in Maryland. So it would work in those states like Wisconsin and Michigan. You could easily flip those states again. Now, just a quick point I want to wrap up this video on. Let's say Andrew Cuomo wins Delaware and Maryland, usually safe Democratic states. You subtract that, and pretty much, if you want to look at those numbers, Larry Hogan would lose 13 electoral votes. But for the map here, let's say you get rid of Virginia, and most likely this would be the map in a sense that maybe because of the growing Democratic population in Northern Virginia, Andrew Cuomo would still win Virginia in a sense. But I would be surprised if Larry Hogan would not flip Virginia. I would be honestly surprised if we ever had a presidential election. Maybe 2024. I would like to see. This would be one of my dream elections. Just to see a liberal Democrat from New York, who's had a lot of controversy, take on a open-minded Republican like Larry Hogan. That would be like a dream election for me. But at the end of the day, I think this is the realistic map. I just gave my own scenario, but at the end of the day, this is what most political forecasters would agree with. So at the end of the day, Larry Hogan wins the presidency with 285 votes to 253 for Andrew Cuomo. So that wraps up this video. Thank you for watching. Until the next one, take care.